Hold on, did Rasheeda really lose her mind and smack little Kannon square across his innocent face as cameras were filming? And did Kirk Frost, the king of poor decisions himself, snap so hard that he went full WWE on Rasheeda Ali? Grab your popcorn and cancel your plans, because what has been surfaced is set to bury every old love and hip hop Atlanta's controversy 6 feet deep. Is this the last nail in Rasheeda coffin? And Kirk's twisted fairy tale marriage? Rasheeda eventually crossed a boundary so huge that Kirk Frost couldn't protect her. And hang up, you know Jasmine and Kendra aren't going to sit quiet while all this unfolds. Word on the street is they're already slipping into group conversations and shady blogs with documentation none of us saw coming. But wait, it gets much messier. Neighbors phoned the cops. Kirk's ex-mistress is playing victim again, and Rasheeda is going to hear that slapping the wrong baby may cost you more than a reality TV check. So strap up, because what I'm about to disclose will have you gripping your edges and checking your page for part 2. This isn't just drama, but a proven family breakdown going to blow up every timeline in America. Let's dive into it all. So let's rewind this train disaster to where it all actually started. Because trust me, Rasheeda didn't simply wake up one morning, slap Kannon in face, and watch her whole life disintegrate for no reason. Oh no, my friend, this mess has roots so deep that even Kirk's receding hairline can't cover them up. If you've been living under a rock, let me remind you that Kirk Frost is Atlanta's favorite. Kirk has been cheating on Rasheeda since flip phones were invented. From hidden side chicks to secret babies, yes, numerous to late-night studio sessions, that somehow always ended in hotel lobbies. Messing up is longer than his bank accounts. And poor Rasheeda has been out here playing the devoted wife, the boss chick, the pillar of strength, claiming that her enterprise wasn't founded on grief and her man's wandering eyes. For those who have forgotten, Kannon is Kirk's love kid with Jasmine, the lady who converted side piece into a full-time career move after the controversy. But a few seasons back, Rasheeda publicly forgave Kirk Frost, labeled herself as the bigger person, and went straight back to posting for couple pics on Instagram. Like none of us have the internet classic, Rasheeda always the PR queen. See, unresolved wounds linger, and baby Kannon, as lovely as he is, has been the living wailing snack, demanding reminder of Kirk's betrayal sources. Yep, the same shady insiders who know everything before the cast does say Rasheeda never really embraced Kannon, living under her roof. Oh, you thought this guy merely came up on holidays? Nope. Kirk Frost, the daddy of the year, pushed for Kannon to spend more time at their house, calling it bonding as if the child was an accessory to his redemption narrative behind the scenes. Albeit Rasheeda was simmering one-to-many juice spill tantrums and bedtime excuses later. Our boss woman allegedly lost her crown and swapped it for a shocking rage fit. Everyone, according to a houseworker who spilled the tea quicker than a leaky faucet. It all happened on a routine Wednesday evening. Kirk Frost was busy browsing through Jasmine's new life update tales, because of course he was, while Rasheeda was preparing to film a new commercial promotion in the living room. Kannon, a 4-year-old with zero chill, decided it was the best opportunity to rocket his juice box all over Rasheeda's carefully arranged wig. Now any average parent witnesses claim they heard Rasheeda snap, yelling, "I am not your mother, don't test me," before a hard hit reverberated through the Frost family. And that's when Kirk Frost re-entered the discussion. He stormed in from the den, still playing Jasmine's reels on low level, only to discover his legitimate wife going full WWE on their illegitimate kid. Look on Kirk's face, image a man who just discovered his own sins had come back to bite him, and were now being physically abused in real time. But wait, it gets juicier. Instead of trying to de-escalate, like a normal spouse, trying to keep his family off TMZ, Kirk Frost did what Kirk Frost does best. He went full chaos. According to impartial sources, he seized Rasheeda's wrist mid-swing, threw her back into the sofa, and began ranting at her so loudly that the neighbor's dog apparently had a panic attack, while poor Kannon was bawling in the corner, clutching his juice box like it was a shield from his whole faulty DNA pool. And here's the story twist. Nobody was prepared for a cousin who was FaceTiming Kirk Frost at that precise time, observed the whole tantrum, and you know how messy this family is. Within minutes, that FaceTime transformed into screen recordings, and within hours, guess who got a hold of it first? Jasmine. Yep, ma'am. The queen of side, according to insiders. She instantly phoned Kendra Young, the jocks on Endophagon trouble magnet, and they both began strategizing how to twist this into the next big news, since nothing says payback like posting film of your baby getting smacked by his father's main chick, while the father attempts to wrestle the wife in the background. Meanwhile, Back at the Frost mansion, pandemonium had evolved to full domestic fight status. Kirk Frost was cursing. Rasheeda was weeping. Kannon was hiccuping between sobs, and someone, rumored to be Rasheeda's cousin, contacted 911 just in case Kirk's push evolved into a black eye problem. One dropped juice box, one slap, one shove, and voila. A scandal that makes every prior Kirk Frost cheating plan look like child's play. Insiders stated that when the cops arrived, Kirk Frost tried to play it cool. Kirk Frost, the protective father, told the authorities that Rasheeda had merely lost her temper and that everything was great now. But neighbors who'd heard the ranting from their front porch told a totally different tale. According to one witness, shouting, "You ever touch my son again, I swear I'll ruin you," and Rasheeda was wailing, "He's not mine, I didn't mean to." And that is how a power couple that survived adultery, hidden pregnancies, and a million side chick allegations were reduced to a tabloid comedy by a toddler's juice box and a slap stampede across Atlanta. But oh, we are only warming up, because what happens next? Let's just Jasmine and Kendra were not going to let this viral gold slide through their manicured claws. So grab a snack, take a deep breath, and prepare yourself, because in part 2, we're digging deep into the leaked video and the social media boom, and how Kirk's rage transformed this into the Frost family's messiest dilemma ever. So here we are. The juice box slap has officially evolved into the largest digital dumpster fire the Frost family has ever faced. Considering Kirk Frost was already shamed by the whole internet for rejecting his own child, this is the next level. Within hours of that explosive FaceTime footage landing in Jasmine's sneaky little inbox, she did what any scorned, as any side chick turned full-time drama queen would do. She released a meticulously edited segment to a gossip blogger so thirsty for views that he'd sell his own mama's wig for a scoop, and boy did the tape deliver. In the video you see Rasheeda. The camera shakes as Kirk's voice blasts in from the side, and he grabs Rasheeda by the arms, forcing her down on the sofa like he's in a terrible BT movie Cannon. He's off-screen screaming, and the whole neighborhood listens naturally. As soon as this tape hit the blogs, the internet forgot all about Diddy's trial, Trump's mugshot, alien arrival in Arizona, #Rushy2 slaps Cannon, and #KirkNaps trended within 30 minutes. Jokes filled Twitter. One with Kirk Frost wearing a WWE title and another with Rasheeda's face superimposed into the famous Bad Girls Club scene, while spectators laughed, clowned, and argued whether Rasheeda deserved to be cancelled for punching a child. Jasmine and Kendra were somewhere popping champagne and FaceTiming one another, discussing the next steps. Because here's where it gets even nastier. Sources say Jasmine orchestrated this leak not only for revenge but to argue for full custody of Cannon. She's now saying Kirk Frost is an unfit father for letting his insane wife lay hands on an innocent child. And Kendra, don't get it confused. She may appear to play impartial on TV, but insiders say she's low-key embracing the meltdown because she feels it clears a road for her and Young Jock to take the tail limelight next season. I mean, what's better than swooping in as the voice of reason as your co-star's marriage burns up in flames? Meanwhile, Rasheeda sought to perform damage control by going live on Instagram, full-face beat-teed candles. In the backdrop, like a spiritual apology vigil between sniffles, she reminded her millions of followers, "I'm human, I lost my patience. I didn't intend to injure Cannon, he's only a baby, and I was anxious. Please don't judge me." But guess one admirer said in the comments section, "You've been calling yourself a boss chick for 10 years. Bosses don't slap babies, ma'am." Another person added, "Girl, Jasmine is about to run you for child abuse, and your man, you should get a lawyer." Harsh, perhaps, but this is the internet. People come for blood when you put your business on public display. And Kirk Frost, the man of the hour, well, he's, according to sources close to Kirk's barber's cousin. Kirk Frost played Mr. Protective Dad for once in his messy life. "Yes, we monitor everyone here." Kirk Frost packed Cannon's little luggage and dropped him off at Jasmine's condo the next morning. No explanations, no tears, simply "He's safer with you for now." That move astonished everyone. I mean, think about it. Kirk Frost literally delivered Jasmine the moral high ground on a silver platter. Now she's flaunting it on social media. Cryptic quotes like, "Sometimes the truth slaps harder than a hand ever could," Girl, but don't worry, the plot thickens. Because Rasheeda assumed an apologetic video would cure it. All the cops showed up at her house. And it turns out that one nosy neighbor not only recorded the yelling, but also filed a legal complaint. So now Rasheeda is not only trending for smacking her stepson, but but she's now at risk of becoming insiders, say Kirk. Frost is divided. On one hand, he hates that his wife beat their son. On the other hand, Kirk Frost, being Kirk, he still loves Rasheeda, and doesn't want her behind prison. He's imploring Jasmine not to pursue charges. But Jasmine, well, she's enjoying this too much to let it die easily. Word is that she's seeking a higher child support check, a public apology, and new visitation rules. She wants Kirk Frost on her terms now. And where is Kannon? Throughout all of this, the poor boy is simply trying to eat his fruit snacks and watch cartoons as the grown-ups around him use his forehead as ground zero for their dirty power games. If there's one victim here, it's him, but that won't stop the Frost Circus from milking every second for headlines. And let's not forget our other honorary villain, young Jock, the king of misdirected jokes. Attempted to get on Instagram Live with Kendra to clear the air. Instead, he ended up clowning Kirk Frost mid-broadcast. Guy Kirk Frost out here, Hulk bashing Rasheeda over juice boxes. Y'all see me doing my thing, however. Kendra keeps me sane. Not exactly helpful. Jock, not exactly helpful at all. Fans quickly blasted him to bro. The recent controversy was worse than Kirk's hush, but Jock never met a camera he didn't like. So don't be shocked if he's selling producers a new spin-off as we speak. Jock and Kendra are Atlanta's last sane couple, right? Just 48 hours after that single smack, the Frost house is a crime scene. The marriage is hanging by a single Instagram prayer circle. Jasmine is looking for a lawyer, and Kirk Frost has managed to make us all nearly. I almost feel terrible for him. But buckle up, because if you think Rasheeda's apologies and Kirk's damage management are the end of this meltdown, my precious summer child, you clearly haven't watched Love and Hip Hop Atlanta long enough. In part 3, talking about prospective litigation, restraining orders, Jasmine's hidden custody requests, and why sources are speculating that VH1 executives would pull the plug on the Frost storyline completely if things grow more violent. That cuppa and brace your DMs, because next up, the fallout nobody saw coming. If you thought a single slap and a living room skirmish was enough to bury the Frost family's reputation once and for all, then honey, you certainly misjudged the power of Atlanta's favorite trash magnets, because after the tape leaked, neighbors tattled, and the internet weighed in. The real-world repercussions came knocking quicker than Kirk's next poor decision. Let's start with the legal drama. Jasmine didn't waste a second when Kirk Frost was attempting to contact her, apologize, and sweet-talk her into withdrawing the child abuse allegation. She was already sitting in a lawyer's office with a vanilla cappuccino and a folder full of receipts. Word on the street is Jasmine's crafting a bombshell custody petition, not just for full physical custody of Kannon, but with a side order of increased child support and a legally binding restraining order against Rasheeda. Yes, you heard that correctly. Wants a court to sign off that Rasheeda can't go within 50 feet of Kannon, not at birthday parties, Christmas, Kirk's family reunion, barbecue, nothing. And as Kirk Frost attempted to calm her down with promises of more money, Jasmine was not having it. According to a messy buddy who revealed all to the internet, Jasmine looked Kirk Frost dead in the eye and shouted, "You let your queen smack my kid. Now watch me grab your crown and your monies, hey." Someone hand that woman a peach and a spin-off now. Meanwhile, Rasheeda is attempting to twist the story back in her favor. She's been on a sorry tour for longer than Kanye's apology run. Videos, even a teary sit-down with a local radio presenter each time, reiterating the same line, "I'm human, I snapped, I didn't mean it." But here's the point, the fans aren't buying it. The same folks who previously yelled #T Mr. Rasheeda are now releasing side-by-side footage contrasting her boss female pep speeches to that leaked slap. Spoiler alert, the slap is winning the PR fight. But let's talk money, since this breakdown could damage the Frost bank account more than any controversy, but sources allege sponsors have been discreetly backing out. Rasheeda's popular shops, Pressed Atlanta and Pressed Houston, are getting bombarded with one-star Google reviews, branding her a child abuser. A major beauty company collabed with her last summer, abruptly took her discount codes off their site overnight. Even VH1, the mothership that has milked this family's turmoil for years, is allegedly afraid. A producer's assistant revealed some tea to a fan page. They love drama, but beating a child on video that crosses boundaries with sponsors, if public criticism grows greater, they could remove the Frost narrative mid-season picture that after a decade of weathering infidelity scandals, surprise kids and love triangles, the thing that eventually kills Rasheeda and Kirk Frost may be one juicebox slap. And what about Kirk Frost? Oh, you know he's out here doing what Kirk Frost does best. playing both sides to Jasmine. He's the sad, according to one source. Kirk Frost even told a cousin, "Man, I had to push her. She lost it, but you know I got her back right, sir. Choose a lane, are you upset or not?" Meanwhile, young Jock is milking this circus for all it's worth. He's done at least 3 club hosting gigs this week, where he playfully urges the DJ to pause the music mid-set, so he can yell into the mic, "Yo, at least my girl didn't slap a baby on camera." Of course, the audience goes crazy every time. Even Kendra Jock's long-suffering fiancé wrote a shady narrative, "Ladies, keep your hands to yourself, these kids didn't choose to be part of your mess, ouch, so what's next?" Well, let's break it down. Jasmine's lawyer has already filed an emergency application for full custody and temporary restraining order. Court date next week. Rasheeda may face misdemeanor child abuse charges if the neighbor's complaint holds. However, her lawyer is fighting tooth and nail to get it overturned. Kirk Frost is pretending to be the voice of reason while effectively living in his car between Jasmine's condo and Rasheeda's half-empty master bedroom. He's also evading calls from the show producers who want him and Rasheeda to film a family healing scene next week. Good luck with that. And the fans, oh, the fans, are living for every second. Twitter is inundated with jokes about Kirk Frost having an anger management spin-off and Rasheeda renaming her boutique as press charges. Etsy vendors are starting petty reigns supreme in the midst of this pandemonium. According to an insider, Rasheeda's mother, Miss Charlene, who never chews her tongue, is about to blow a gasket, telling him he should have kept Kannon at Jasmine's house in the first place. Rumor says she's threatening to come up to court and drag Jasmine herself for milking this problem for monies. If you think that'll go easily, you clearly don't. No, Miss Charlene. And then there's the greatest gossip. Will Rasheeda finally walk away? Friends close to her claim she's been telling folks this is her last straw with Kirk Frost. But if you've observed this pair for the last 10 years, you know the last straw has come and gone more times than Kirk's bank card at the strip club. So here's where we are. Jasmine wants blood and money. Rasheeda wants forgiveness and to keep her shops afloat. Kirk Frost wants to maintain both ladies are under control. And you can imagine how that will go. The internet wants more mayhem, and they're about to get it because guess what? This tale is far from done. Court fights are looming. Attorneys are swarming fan sites, are looking for new leaks, and you best believe producers are pushing for an exclusive sit-down reunion that'll rake in millions of views. So grab your popcorn and keep your notifications turned on because next week, we'll see whether Kirk Frost talk his way out of paying double child support if Rasheeda can persuade a judge she's not a threat to Kannon, and if Jasmine finally gets to post a victory boomerang labeled checkmate, 1. Juicebox 1 slap one family's whole existence. There you have it, folks. The slap that rocked Atlanta. The outburst that could ultimately pull Rasheeda and Kirk Frost apart for good. And Jasmine's custody battle. Been secretly hoping for from day one. But if you think this mayhem is settling down anytime soon, think again. The next episode is already scripting itself behind closed doors. Court dates, emergency restraining orders, covert side calls, leaked DMIs that might bring even more cast members into this problem. So here's a question for you. Sure, you're there, nibbling popcorn at 3 o'clock a.m. Is Rasheeda done as Atlanta's boss chick after slapping Kannon? Should Jasmine win full custody and a hefty payout for her agony and suffering? And will Kirk Frost do what Kirk does best? Flip-flop between these ladies until they both bury him in child support. Drop your hottest takedown in the comments. I'd want to know whose side you're on. Hashtag Team Rasheeda, hashtag Team Jasmine, or hashtag Team Kannon. Because let's be honest, the baby is the only innocent one in this entire train wreck. Even think about scrolling away. Tap that if you enjoy watching dirty reality TV. Click the like button. Subscribe for more than just your sanity. Never miss the next leak, twist, and smash that bell symbol because believe me, I have receipts lined up for the next update will make this slap look like a friendly pat on the back. Keep your eyes are bonded, your edges are fixed. Get your group chat ready because the Frost family collapse is far from over. Till the next time, stay scandalized.